What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing the results of the main card of UFC 320, Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. A lot of crazy shit went down, a lot of implications for the future of the UFC. Let's get right into it. So let's go ahead and start talking about Abus Magomedov versus Joe Pyfer. I had picked Joe Pyfer to win this one, but I'm going to be completely honest, guys. Abus was a lot more game than I had thought. In my pick video, I had said that Abus was a lamb to the slaughter. Clearly, he was a layup for Joe Pyfer, and I still kind of stand by that. But I guess where I was wrong was in how the fight would play out. I didn't think Abus would have any form, any kind of chance, but I was sweating bullets in that first round, man. Joe Pyfer did not look good in that first round. Yeah, the commentators did theorize that maybe it was a part of his plan to gas Abus out, and that's why he was being wrestling heavy. At first, I thought maybe he had an injured hand or something. I was not expecting Joe body bags Pyfer to go out there and start wrestling. But you know what? I'm kind of glad he did. I think he kind of beat a lot of these fraud slash industry plant allegations. He showed that he's a properly well-rounded fighter and he could give people trouble anywhere. Kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. He also dealt with a little bit of adversity there. He got outstruck by Abus. Abus landed 18 of 21 strikes, whereas Pyfer only landed 13 of 18. Again, completely unexpected. I know Pyfer has a black belt and all that, but a lot of fighters have black belts. You just don't really see them actually act like one. And Pyfer, I feel like, was really performing like a black belt. Another thing I noticed too, I feel like Pyfer was really trying to get the fans back on his side. He was being very candid, you know, saying things, oh, I know I said some controversial stuff, but I just love my country, whatever, all that. And you know what? I never really cared about all that anyways. I just never liked his cocky gimmick with the sunglasses and all that, especially after getting pieced up by Jack the Joker Hermanson. But you know what, man? I think he really showed his human side. He's a normal dude. Probably got caught in a bad moment. Obviously, he's not happy that he got sick drinking fucking water in Mexico. That's common sense to a lot of people, but, you know, that's not normal everywhere. That's not normal here in the US and stuff like that. So we got to cut him some slack. He's a true contender. He's probably going to be around for a little while. I'm excited to see where he goes next. He's an exciting fighter. So he's got a new fan in me. We are on to the second fight on the main card. Josh Emmett versus Yusuf Zalal. This fight was a fucking weird one. I picked Zalal to win via a very boring decision. And it was pretty boring. I must admit, I didn't even know what the hell was going on. But I did not think he would win like that. I know Zalal's a real good grappler, but I was not expecting him to kind of crash in on Josh Emmett like that. And props to him. Most people would not run towards Josh Emmett, especially when he doubles down on his talk saying, oh, you think I was strong before? Well, I'm going to show you real power. I kind of felt bad for Zalal because, like, he already had a bad rap going into this fight because of the Cater fight. That's kind of why I made the pick I did. I thought it was going to dance around the edge of the octagon, poking and prodding, Emmett all fight, and just, yeah, getting a boring decision victory. The tap was so anticlimactic, and it was so fast that, like, you could hear a fucking pin drop on the broadcast. The stadium went silent. I don't know if it actually did in real life. I wasn't there, but that's the impression the broadcast gave off. Yeah, I mean, the crowd started booing him, you know, when he started praising his God. That was pretty crazy, too. But yeah, he can't just catch a break, man. He needs to go out there and get a knockout like Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy, everybody forgot about the boring Lerone Murphy allegations. Once he got that spinning KO on Pico, holy shit, man, everybody loves him. Regardless, it was a really good win from Zalal. I'm not sure who's next for him. I really don't know. I do not want to see him fight for a belt yet. He needs a fucking TKO finish. As for Josh Emmett, I'm not sure where he goes next. I know a lot of people were trying to shit on him for not evolving his game and for saying that he's doubling down on his power. But guys, he's an older man. Let me see how old he is. Dude, Josh Emmett is 40 years old. He's not going to learn new tricks. He can't teach an old dog new tricks. But what you can teach an old dog is how to throw a nasty fucking overhand right. So, fuck it. If I'm Josh Emmett, I'm doing the same thing, man. I'm getting in the gym. I am curling. I am benching. I am shoulder pressing. I am doing whatever I can to farm as many highlight reel KOs and knockout bonuses, fight of the night bonuses, whatever, as much as I can for the rest of my career. Because if we're being real, Josh Emmett is not going to fight for a title anytime soon. He lost to most of the contenders coming up. But what he can do, the things he can control, he can spam overhand rights and clip farm, basically. We are now on to what is arguably the highlight of the night, the people's main event, Khalil Roundtree Jr. versus Jiri Prochazka. I did pick this one wrong. I picked Khalil, and I was kind of getting some shit for this in my comments on my pick video. But if you go back and actually watch the segment on where I discuss how I think this fight's gonna go, I pretty much got it exactly right. I just got to the wrong conclusion. Pretty much, I had predicted that Jiri was gonna get beaten the first couple rounds by Khalil. I feel like that was obvious, just based off of how both guys fight. Khalil is very technical, or I should say more technical than Jiri. Just the way he's caged up, where he throws strikes, when he throws strikes, the calf kicks. We really saw it in the Jamal fight. He likes to be quote unquote, I don't want to say by the book because he's really not, but he likes to be a little traditional, you know? If you have your hands down, he's going to throw an overhand. Obviously, this combined with Jiri's funky style, I knew that Jiri's chin was going to be tested, basically. I knew that. And this is kind of where I got my conclusion wrong. I wasn't confident in Jiri's chin, but I knew that he was just, dare I say, genetically superior to Khalil. He has more power, bigger, reach, all of that. I just didn't think he would be able to finish Khalil. I did say that he would have the ability to break Khalil down throughout the course of the fight because we've seen that happen to Khalil before in the Pereira fight. Honestly, guys, I really didn't think Jiri was going to come back the way he did. I don't know why I didn't think that, because he always does this shit. He's just a genetic beast, man, and he just outdogs everybody. If you can't fucking kill him the way a Pereira can, he's going to keep coming back stronger and stronger and stronger every fucking time, like a zombie. Anyways, after those 2 rounds, Jiri just decides he's going to lock in, and he goes out there and just fucks Khalil up. When Khalil asked his corner right before they left the cage, he asked them, I'm up 2-0, right? And they go, yeah, I don't know why, but I just got a sense of impending doom from that. Jiri then comes out as the Jiri that we all know and love. He comes out pushing the pace, throwing long strikes, spinning elbows, all of that. And there's a specific moment that I feel like really encapsulates the entire fight, kind of right before Khalil gets finished. They're kind of in a clinch, and Khalil lands a nasty elbow. Literally a second later, Jiri comes back with his own elbow, and Khalil reacts a lot more than what Jiri did. And that kind of tells a tale of a lot of Jiri's fights. He's losing these fights. He's getting pieced up. He's getting outclassed, dare I say. But once you hit those later rounds, Jiri's the same guy. He can still take those same shots. And you can't even deliver the same kind of shot that you're able to in the first round. We just see Jiri grind these guys down. It's like punching a fucking brick wall. You never beat the wall. Looking at these round for round strikes, it's just fucking crazy. The first 2 rounds, Jiri landed a combined 24 significant strikes. In the 3rd round alone, he landed 47. What the fuck, Jiri? I saw a funny tweet. I'm gonna see if I can find it. But I saw a funny tweet saying, it's like as if Jiri has to fight the spiritual version of his opponent in the spirit realm before he can actively win the physical fight, because it's like he didn't try until the 3rd round. I don't know. I don't understand this fucking guy, but he just defies all logic. It was an amazing victory, man. Jiri Prochazka is a must-watch fighter and easily probably one of the best pickups the UFC has made in a long, long time. Stick around to the main event talk. We're going to discuss who's next for Alex and whether it's Jiri or Olberg. We're on to the co-main event. We got Merab versus Cory Sandhagen. I predicted Merab to win. Obviously, Merab won, but I still stand by what I said. Cory Sandhagen is Merab's most dangerous fight, aside from Umar, maybe. Cory is very well-rounded, and I think he showed that. The way he was able to constantly get up. He kind of had a similar thing going on in the Umar fight. Every time Umar took him down, he was just able to do that roll and kind of get back up and give himself another chance. But of course, no matter who you are, Merab does what Merab does. He went in there and was grinding Cory down. You could even see the frustration building on Cory as the fight went on. He kept doing a little hand flip like, what? What is this? You're not doing anything. Obviously, we know Merab is doing something. He's winning the rounds. And combine that with the fact that he damn near knocked out Cory in the second round, which I was going fucking crazy when that happened. Cory just clearly didn't have a chance in hell here. I will say I was surprised by the lack of flying knees. I thought Cory would throw those a lot more. There were a couple times where they barely missed Merab. He was probably a little worried about legs getting caught, things like that. Merab does have a solid fucking chin when he sees that shot coming. So there's a chance that Cory would throw a fucking flying knee, get caught, and body slammed or something. We need to ask ourselves just how fucking good is Merab? In my opinion, there's no more question. He's a bantamweight GOAT. He could lose to Umar next fight. I don't care. The run he's been on is fucking insane. He literally beat all of them in the same exact way. He did it his way every time. The UFC tried to fucking block him out from a title shot because he didn't want to fight his friend Aljo. He stood on his morals. He stood his ground. And look where it got him, man. As for fighting in December, I don't know. I don't want to see Merab lose. I really do like Merab. And I feel like the only next contender is Umar. I'm not sure who else would be worthy enough fight for him, especially after seeing what he just did to Cory Sandhagen. So I think Umar is a clear choice. And you don't rush against Umar, not in December. Yeah, he did that before, but you don't want to do it again. Don't fucking test fate. Did you guys see he was going fucking crazy immediately after the fight? He was partying late at night, taking his shirt off on stage and shit at the after party. And then he still went to Aljo's wedding. That's some legendary shit, man. We're going to miss this guy when he's gone. Living legend, a living legend. One more thing before I move on. I keep wrapping up this little segment talking about the co-main, but Merab outstruck Cory Sandhagen like a motherfucker. 243 to 149 total strikes landed. That is batshit insane. Plus 20 takedowns from Merab. Yeah, statistically, this was like completely one-sided, pure domination. Merab's the 135 GOAT. Let me know what you think. If he's not, how? Explain to me how in the comments. You're not going to be able to convince me, but go ahead and try. We are on to the main event. Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. I'm going to say it. I was wrong. I was completely fucking wrong. I get it. I went ham on the thumbnail. I put Pereira on a fucking tombstone. He put Ankalaev on a tombstone. I was wrong. I get it. But there's one too many of you giving me shit, okay? Where were all of you like a month ago? All the Pereira fans disappeared and now they're suddenly reappearing. And I have to say, he was the underdog. So to those who are putting their money where their mouth is, not all of you had Pereira winning, so I don't want to fucking hear it. Regardless though, I got it completely fucking wrong, man. I didn't believe Pereira when he said it was 30-40% last fight. I didn't fucking believe him. And can you really blame me, guys? You know how many fighters say that shit and then go out and get fucked up even worse? That happens all the time, man. It's an excuse as old as time. And I just thought Pereira was trying to use it, but he absolutely proved that that was the fucking truth. Because last fight was close. This fight was not. The second he crossed that octagon, you could see it on Ankalaev's face, I feel like. And you could even see it on mine. I knew Ank was fucked. I knew it was over. I knew my picks were fucked. I knew I was about to get shit on in my comments and all that. But if you go back and watch a video, I said I wanted Pereira to win. I like Pereira a lot. And I don't really find Ankalaev that interesting. I thought he was capping, man. I thought it was 100% last fight. And clearly he wasn't. Seriously, when he crossed that octagon, I just knew it was over. And those calf kicks right at the start, I feel like that was the big game changer. A lot of people haven't mentioned it too much. That's what made Ankalaev go into orthodox. I saw a lot of people were questioning why the fuck did Ankalaev switch to orthodox so early in the fight. Well, Pereira was kind of slamming those inside calf kicks. Pereira came out like a bat out of hell. Ankalaev only threw and landed 4. No, Ankalaev threw 9 significant strikes, only landed 4. Pereira threw 45 and landed 28. Honestly, there's not really much to talk about for this fight. It was so fucking fast. Under 90 seconds, Pereira went out there and dispatched Magomed Ankalaev. Now, I'm seeing some talk online that maybe this was an early stoppage. Shut the fuck up. This was nowhere close to an early stoppage. Ankalaev himself hasn't said anything that it was an early stoppage. And in fact, right before he got stopped, he was curled up staring at Herb Dean's fucking feet. He knew that Herb Dean was literally like 4 inches away and was about to stop it. He knew he had to do something, but he also knew that if he moved his arms from guarding his head, Pereira's elbow was going to go through clean through his fucking temple. As for what's next for Pereira, I really don't know. I know he wants to go to heavyweight, but I'm in agreement with Dana White here. I don't want to see him there just yet. Maybe against a John Jones. I don't know. I feel like Jones and Aspinall easily beat Pereira. They're just bigger guys with, I would say, more well-rounded skills. Yeah, Pereira just knocked out a grappler, but I don't think that one-punch power is going to translate to a heavyweight body like a Jones or an Aspinall. Plus, we have a fresh contender here, Carlos Ulberg. A Jiri rematch trilogy would be pretty cool, although we all know how that's going to go. But you have a contender that you haven't fought yet in Carlos Ulberg. I think if you were to knock out Carlos Ulberg, yeah, go to heavyweight. Fuck it. We'll see you there. But if he doesn't fight Ulberg, there's always going to be that question. Yeah, I don't think Ulberg would even beat a Jiri, to be honest. But if Ulberg were to somehow do that, the question would always remain, did he duck Ulberg, blah, 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 blah. I would just rather see Pereira beat Ulberg, a striker, which if he's as good as I think he is, he should be able to dispatch Ulberg, no problem. And then let's see Pereira go to heavyweight. It looks like, though, that the UFC wants to give it to Jiri. Like I said, I mean, it would be a cool fight. It would be a fun fight to watch. It just doesn't make much sense to me. I don't see a world where Jiri can beat Pereira. Yeah, I said this about Pereira and Ankalaev, but, you know, the situations are different. Jiri got finished twice by Pereira. Yes, one of them was on short notice, and I do think Jiri should get credit for that. So maybe this is kind of that favor. Honestly, the way Jiri was getting hit by Khalil, I think Pereira would just do him even worse. Let's just go ahead and let's put Ulberg in there, man. We know what's going to happen to Jiri if he goes in there to fight Pereira. I don't want to see Jiri get knocked out again, please. Naturally, guys, this does ask the question. This does create the big question, I should say. How good is Alex Pereira, and where do you rate him of all-time 205 champions? More importantly, where do you rate him compared to John Jones in terms of career at 205? Personally, I still have Jones' career a little bit higher, but like I said, if Pereira were to go out there and knock out Ulberg in the first round, I don't know, it might be a little bit more even. Yeah, Pereira did lose, but again, him really nailing that 40% narrative throughout the entire time between both fights has done fucking miles for his legacy, because now everybody knows, or at least thinks that they know, the truth behind the first fight. I guess we don't really know. We won't find out for probably another couple months. I'm excited to see how the UFC match makes after this. There's a lot of implications for a lot of divisions here. Is Merab going to move up, which I don't think he should. Volk probably smokes him. Should Pereira move up, which I don't think he should. Aspinall smokes him. Things are just really interesting right now. And I just got to say, I know people were saying like combat sports was kind of dead like a couple months ago, but dare I say, we're in a better time than ever. We had a great combat sports weekend. Usman Hughes, which I have my own thoughts on that. We had bare knuckle, King of Violence fight, and we had UC 320. Guys, like, as combat sports fans, we're fucking blessed right now, and enjoy it while you can. You don't realize you're in the good old days until you actually left them. That is going to be it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. As always, if you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, share it with friends. It goes a really long way here. Comment down below. What did you think of my picks? What did you think of those fights? What was your fight of the night? And who do you think is next for Pereira? Who's next for Merab? Do you think either guy should move up a weight class, or should they stay and fight more guys in their division? It seems like both champions have kind of cleared out the division aside from maybe 1, 2 guys. I don't know. Follow me over on X at SockOnDsLive. I tweet all my picks, including prelims and early prelims. Follow me over there, argue with me over there. I respond a lot faster than YouTube comments here. And yeah, stay tuned, guys. We'll have my picks on UFC Rio coming out probably Wednesday or Thursday. Thanks for watching.